Hey y'all, hey! Welcome back to my page, y'all. Welcome to the replay. How do you know you're on the replay? You won't see a red box right up there. I've got this little frame that we're going to use today on kind of a cutesy Halloween project. So when you hop on, say hey, hey. And what we're going to do, so this is part of a Wee Bit Wicked, like little cutouts, shapes. So we're going to do that today. And the keyword is going to be, let me see, what is the keyword going to be? Keyword is going to be ghost. So let me just, okay, we're going to use this. This also comes with a few other things that matches the transfer, y'all. Let me show you. So we're going to use this transfer, and this is the frame we're going to use. This also comes with the hat, and it comes with these two little guys, I don't know, a witch and something else. I don't know what they are, but we are going to get started, and I've got 4 colors, y'all. White, wild lime, berry, and black that we're going to use. And let's get started. Here we go. I'm going to tape this box frame. This is a 5x5 box frame, and I'm going to start taping the edges because it looks like a witch and a ghost. We are going to paint. Y'all like to paint? I do sometimes. Let's use the darker side today. Get this going. So I'm just going to place my tape right inside. Let me scoot back so y'all can see what I'm doing. So when you hop on, say hey. My name is Amy from A to Z Designs. And we're going to make a cute little ghost silhouette. So let me just tape this down. That way I'm not painting my, the frame part of this box frame. Hey friends, what's going on? How are you? Hi Betty. You got your snowman. Awesome. Hi Dina. Hello everyone. All right. Do this side. Y'all have anything exciting going on in your world today? Went for my morning walk. Y'all, I was so tired this morning. But once I got to it, it felt good, right? Okay, so let me just cut these corners. I typically do this just so that I can press down the tape so I can kind of see a little bit better. And we're going to paint with wild lime because it's wild. Let me find my paintbrush that I want to use. All right, let me think about this. So the keyword is ghost. So just comment that and I will send you a message right to your messenger. If you are new here, make sure you let us know that you're new. And check your message request if you're not seeing the messages, okay? All right, so I'm gonna paint this entire thing wild lime. Now, I see that I got a little bit too much water. So, we're gonna see if we need a second coat. Sometimes when you apply too much water on your surface, it really thins out the paste. And you won't necessarily have a full coverage layer, I guess. All right, one of the paint, what do you call those? Bristles came out. So let me dry this really quick. Hi, Darlene, how are you? Joanne and Vivian and Lori, how are y'all? Hi, Linda. Let me dry this a tad, y'all. I'm thinking in my mind this is gonna work, but we're about to find out. And I say work like the entire project. So your paste is going to go from shiny to matte as it starts to dry. And I think we're going to need another coat. But we shall see. Some spots it's a little bit thicker than others. So let me show you. You see that? Okay, so let's go in with another coat. And then we'll set this off to the side to start drying and work on the next part of our project, y'all. And I hope I inspire you today. That is my goal. One of my goals. My other goal is to just come on here and craft and have fun with y'all, my friends. Y'all are my community. So appreciate y'all. Every day, every minute. Okay, this looks much better already. Much better. All right, so let me just go back over it and get the brush strokes out. Best that I can. Flip it over here and work on this side. All right, much better. See, much better, okay? All right, so that is gonna go over there. I'm just gonna see if I have any excess paste on my brush, put it in the jar and close this up. Now we're gonna work on this. This is part of the Chockable Shapes Weave It Wicked. And we're gonna actually, y'all, I'm going to paint this black. Let me see. Doesn't matter which side. We're gonna paint the frame black. So let's get started on that. This one, I don't think I'm going to water down. Nope, don't need to. So yes, you can paint the reusable Chockable Shapes. Have at it. Or you can just leave them white. I think this is gonna be cute, hopefully. Like I said, in my mind, this should work. But we're gonna find out. Okay, so this is wanting to move on me. So let me just use my transfer trimmers to hold it down. All right, I'm gonna go back over it one more time and just pick up that excess paste that I may have left on some of the sections. All right, and now I have it all over this. Cool. That'll wash off. This paste is washable. All right, now I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna actually go in and paint the inside. Probably should have done that first. But it's okay, y'all. We do things backwards here. We're not perfect. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't have a bunch of paste on my brush so that it doesn't clump up. So let's see what we got. Okay, lay it down. All right, done and done. Let me grab a wipe. Hi, Elizabeth, how are you? Hi, Virginia. The banner is not done yet, Michelle. Very soon. I worked on it this morning a little bit, set it off to the side. All right, let's dry this. Now, I am gonna apply wax. Pretty sure. Because we're gonna put a color on top of this, okay? The outside edges, yes, Paula. We can paint the outside edges. I just wanna make sure that this is dry first before I go and mess it up. Okay. So, let's go around the edges. per Paula's request. Paula knows the right thing to do. Because I don't always, y'all, I don't always. It's so tedious. But yes, it looks much better. Now, don't worry about the back. We are going to glue that to our box frame. You could use, hold on. You could use Velcro if you wanted to, so that you could take it off, because this is reusable. You could use glue dots. Maybe that's what we'll use. Just gotta find them. All right, so I don't want to touch the part that is wet to finish painting this spot where my thumb is. Okay, it's white. That looks much better, Paula. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me in check. Thank you, thank you. Yes, ghost is the key word, y'all. I put all of this stuff in the cart for you. Now, the only thing about doing the edges after the fact is that sometimes you get some paint or paste on the front. And then you have to fix it, which is fine. Okay. Done. That looks really cool, actually. Now, we've got two transfers that I'm going to use. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? Let's go ahead and open these up. This one is called A Wee Bit Wicked. Then we're also going to use, I've never used this, y'all, Very Scary Ghost. We're going to use this little ghost guy. And look, he's even got shoes. But we're not going to use the shoes. We're just going to use the ghost today. So let me take this out. We're going to cut our transfer. Let me clean this off, because I did get the black paste on it. Let me dry it off now. Whoops. Hello. If you're new here, let us know. Okay, so notice how there are a ton of pieces to this. So the cut lines right here are basically telling you, cut me, right? So you could, y'all, if you want to cut this all up like this, I want to leave it all on the same backer sheet. So I'm going to just slip my thumb in between the transfer and the backer sheet and do it just like so. Okay, so we're going to use this frame. So let me grab my fuzzing cloth and we're going to stick it on there because we know we're going to use that. And then the same thing for the ghost. Let me find a spot, lift it up, and there is the ghost. So that's all we're using of these transfers, okay? Hi, Pam. Alrighty, next step. Let me turn on my glue gun. So let's make sure that this is dry. And I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Like I said, I have an idea in my mind, but I'm not sure I'm going to execute it well. We are going to need, let's see, do I have a pencil? Yes, I have a pencil. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, dry this off, and then dry this off. We're going to dry this, okay? We're not drying it off. Then we'll take the tape off all around the edge so that we have a clean finish. Check it out. Look at that. 5 by 5, y'all. 5 by 5. All right, let me put this in the trash. Okay. Let me make sure that this is dry because we're going to wax this next. I want to make sure the back is dry. There's no big chunks of paste on here. Okay, ready? We're going to wax both the frame and the black frame. The box frame and the black frame. Hi, Zach.
Hi. What's going on here?
We're making a cute little ghost silhouette.
Ooh.
So I am going to wax this well because we're going to put a transfer on top of this. And I don't want it to peel up the paste that we put down, that we painted with, okay? So y'all do me a favor and hit the heart button. Make sure you sprinkle the video. Like I said, if you are new here, let us know. I am going around this entire thing very well, and then I'm going to flip this over. This is called a wax applicator, and basically just buff it in, make sure I don't have any gigantic chunks of wax sitting here. Okay, so it made it a little bit shinier. All right, now let's do the same thing over here, because we're going to put the ghost down on our box frame. Now, I know I have a bunch of fall behind me, but I still have to create some Halloween decor because Zach is going to take care of the outside. Like, he is a huge Halloween decorator on the outside. So I got to step up my game and do it inside. All right, wax, buff, good to go, okay? All right, what's next? Let's grab our frame. So what I'm doing right here, y'all, is fuzzing the transfer. This is applying lint, I almost said wax, to the back, okay? Because this is sticky. Anywhere that you see, like, the green part, that is the sticky part. Anywhere that you don't see that and you can see through it, that is the silk screen. All right, so let's do this. And let me get my paste out. We're going to use berry, so it's like a purple. Let me make sure that this is really good and fuzzed, okay? Hi, Kathy. How are you? Hi, Kate. Ready? Hello, hello. Thanks for hopping on, y'all. So appreciate it. All right, let's see here. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. So this is going to be the top. And this is going to fit perfectly on our little frame, y'all. So let me just make sure I have it lined up where I want it. And then I'm going to just press it down. Stuck to the desk. And see if it is good. Okay, so now I'm going to just take my finger around this little frame and push out all the air bubbles. Then we're going to take our berry chalk in paste form and go all the way around it. Just like this. Make sure you get all of the silk screen covered so that you don't have a blank spot when you take this off. Okay, and let's see what happens. Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is really cool. It's a really nice pop, right? Okay, so this has to be cleaned. And he moved my desk, or my tray, y'all. My little cart, my little travel remote station. Okay, so let's do this. Spray our board eraser. And we're going to clean this off. I like to clean as I go to the best that I can. Flip it over, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the back so that you can reuse this over and over. You don't have to have one of those shapes to create with this transfer. You can put the frame just on the surface itself. Just put it down on your surface. You don't have to have that chuckable shape. Okay? All right, so now, remember, like I said, I don't like to cut mine up, partially because I like to place it right back in the spot that it originally started and keep all of my stuff together, okay? So there's that one. Let me dry this. Glue gun is on. Now here's the part that I'm a little bit nervous about. But hopefully we can get it and get it right. Okay, so let's try this. All right, we need to fuzz our ghost. Okay, we're putting the ghost directly on the box frame. And I got my pencil out. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to see. Okay, so ideally what I want to do is place the ghost down right in the center. And I want to put the frame around the ghost. So, just like that, okay? Now, I have to keep in mind, I don't know that pencil's gonna go through this, but I'm gonna just take my pencil and kind of trace it, okay? Shouldn't ruin your transfer, but now I'm gonna press it through. So I know now I can only go over that line with white paste just a tad because this is not very thick. And if I go too far all the way to the bottom of this frame, the white down here is gonna show because the frame doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Okay, let's see. Does that make sense? Cleaning mat is from Amazon. Sherry, yes, you can just type in the word ghost and it's all there for you to purchase. All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go. All right, so let me flip it this way. Now, I'm gonna go over it just a tad to make sure that you don't see it. Place my excess back in the jar, and we're gonna lift it up. Oh, it's so cute. All right, I'm gonna spray this. And then I said we're gonna use glue dots, right? Okay, let me clean this really quick. You can use so many things with this ghost, y'all. You could even use our ink that is permanent on t-shirts, like put it on a onesie, make some tea towels. That's a good idea, actually. Okay, dry, dry, dry. Then, like I said before, grab all of the transfer that it came on, right? And we're just gonna place it right back where it belongs, in that little section. And now it's all together, ready to be used again, even with the little shoes. Aren't those super cute? Okay, let me see if I have, yes, glue dots. Right here. Let me dry this. Let's see if it works. Okay, frame. It's so cute. Alrighty, let me get out my glue dots and just place them randomly on my frame. One at the top. Okay, this will allow me to remove this and use this again. These are reusable. It's like a chalkboard surface. So, let me place it right in the middle. Y'all, let me scoot up so I can show you. Look. Isn't that super cute? I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. No, I'm not using the glow in the dark. I'm not. Now, the eyes should be black, right? So, let me grab, let's see if I can find a black marker. Marker. Where are you? Let's go in with, I'm gonna use this one. Okay. Oh yes, that is perfect. Look at the ghost now. I love this. Y'all hit the heart button, type in the word ghost. I think this is so cute. And you can just put it like on a tiered tray or on a shelf. So have fun with it. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. It worked. Bye, friends.